We don't have to mention names. It would be lovely if you did. But have you ever had one of your movies? And, you know, a lot of your movies are, it's not like some studio wobbles up to you with a great big bag of money and says, you know, make our dreams come true. You hand build them. But have you ever had a movie where an actor just about took it down or destroyed it because there's such a pain?
No, not taking it down, but I have had some extreme weirdness only once or twice. I won't mention any names, but pretty entertaining stories that I could tell you. You know,
that
about this.
You don't want to relive, though.
Yeah. But enough to let you know that, and this was a wonderful actor, you know, and in the movie gives a great performance. But a nightmare. It had nothing to do with me. It had all to do with him, you know. Really. And I know
you
this
of all
because Rob told me.
Should know that human beings are capable of just turning. I mean, your movies are almost all about human beings morphing and changing. Yeah. Into monsters, more or less.
Well,
sorta.
Creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you have to actually have monsters to work with. You know, and because what people forget, and because of the publicity and behind the scenes and all that stuff, and the intensity and the money, and you know, is that it's like you're like children playing in a sandbox. You really are. I mean, you're putting on, you know, funny clothes that aren't your clothes, and mustaches and funny accents, and you're pretending to be people you're not, and you're playing that you're killing someone, or you're doing this, or you're driving a car and you're not really, but you're fooling the audience because it looks like you're driving a car, you know, and it's playful. I mean, there's a real childlike joy that can be had from movie making. That is wonderful, and that's what I look for, just in terms of the tone on the set. And when you get great people to play with, you know, this is terrific. It's a wonderful experience.
We went out on the inner tubes and asked people for questions for you guys in the hopes of they could come up with something better than my banal, quite expected questions. This is from Nancy Cambino from Long Island. I just love that. Nancy Cambino from Long Island. Long Island, represent. Mr. Cronenberg. Sorry. Dear Mr. Cronenberg. You wrote the screenplay for Cosmopolis, as well as many of your other films. Do you prefer to direct films that you have written yourself because you know as a writer exactly how you intended it to be played?
Well, actually, once you're on the set, there's no difference, because it doesn't matter where the script came from. At that point, it becomes this mysterious thing that you have to try to make come alive.
Right.
And the fact that you wrote it yourself, whether it's an original screenplay, which I've done, or an adaptation, which this is, at that point, it's almost as though somebody else wrote it. I mean, it really, because a screenwriting is a very weird form of writing. It's not like writing a novel. It's not like writing a play. It's a weird kind of skeleton sketch idea, and it needs a lot of input from a lot of people to make it really work and come together. So it doesn't actually, the answer is there is no difference as a director, whether you've written the script yourself or not. You don't really know the script better because you wrote it. That's the weird thing. You really don't know it better.
This question is from
Nancy. That was a great question.
It was. Nancy, are you sitting right there?
I am, yeah.
I'm sorry I imitated your voice.
All right.
I thought this was like from out on the interwebs somewhere, and here you are sitting right there. Wow. Whew. Just a sec. Is Jen Fraley from New Hampshire here?
Wow.
New Hampshire is here, but not Jen. But I love this question, very well put. This is to you, Rob. When I first heard Eric Packer speak, I was surprised to hear the change in Rob's voice. It effectively captured Packer's disconnect with those around him. Who chose to change your voice, and what was the reasoning behind it?
I think I did.
That was my guess.
I don't know. I mean, there's a very... it's weird because David said it's at the end, before I'd met Don DeLillo, I'd only met him when we went to Cannes, and but I thought there was a really obvious cadence in the writing, and I could kind of hear it as soon as I started reading it. I mean, I can't hear that the accent in it sounded similar to Don's, but like a bunch of people said it sounds like DeLillo's voice, which is really bizarre. I mean, I'd never even watched an interview with him. But
maybe you went on YouTube and watched him.
I didn't. I literally, I wasn't doing anything. I mean, it kind of just seemed that was right from the beginning. I was trying to, for some reason, I got obsessed with Howard Dean, like this accent. I'm not even vaguely doing a Howard Dean impression at all, but I was so into his voice. I thought that guy would have, he would have been a great president just for his voice.
Right.
It didn't even matter what he was saying. But and then he got let down by his voice. That's really strange.